Nerds and geeks, we are back. And you know this, the legendary nerds of the fucking round table. Look, this is what happens when we ain't been together in a minute. Yours truly, King Nerdificent Twala Sharp in the building. I see the one and only Mo Kelly. What it is, good sir?
Maverick for president. Maverick for president. Out into the danger zone.
Lord have mercy. Dr. Liz from the freeway.
Hi, everyone.
Liz is on a mute. Anthony from 2 Cubicles Down.
Oh my God.
It's over. We lost.
Uh-oh, I caught that.
Snap. Okay. Ryan, Twitchmaster McBain.
Mo is on one.
Is that guy?
And last but not least, Tom is talking Cunningham.
Yeah, I didn't go to the danger zone.
Damn. Look, I can guarantee you this show is going to have some fireworks because we will be getting into quite possibly one of the greatest projects to ever come out, period. I'm talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. What you thought is going down, okay? It is down, okay? I want to save that tasty morsel for last. When we last were on, we were really hot on Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have heard all that there is to hear about it. One of the funniest things I heard is Sloby-Wan Kenobi. And with that, Ryan Twitchmaster McBain, I have been waiting, dying to hear your take on Obi-Wan. Good sir, what were your thoughts?
I'm going to start with the Clone Wars series. There's an episode where Anakin is really, really upset that Ahsoka left the Jedi Order. He can't get any sleep. He is just really, really depressed. And Obi-Wan's saying to Anakin, get over it. It's okay. We'll get through this. Anakin looks to Obi-Wan and says, if I had failed you, Master, I bet you wouldn't be getting any sleep. Obi-Wan says, I probably wouldn't be, but that's not going to happen. And then he rolls over and goes back to sleep. Now let's go to Obi-Wan, the first episode. Kenobi ain't getting no sleep. And this is what I wanted to see out of this series. This is exactly what I wanted to see. That was my main concern. Because throughout the series, Obi-Wan blames himself. He hates himself. He thinks everything is his fault. And that is what they show. And I will give them that. I'll give Disney some credit for this. But I'm not going to give Disney credit for something they're supposed to do. There's a joke that Chris Rock used to say, I take care of my kids. Motherfucker, you supposed to. Okay? Okay? That is what they're supposed to do. Now, I did like the third sister, Reva. She was badass. When they introduced her, I was like, okay, you're kind of overcompensating a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But when she came back looking for Obi-Wan and she chopped off that woman's hand, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, we going there? Fine. I will give this episode, the series so far, a fair grade. A fair grade. Okay. There is still a lot to go. I think this is like 6 episodes.
I think it's 6.
Yeah, I think it's 6. Yeah.
Okay. There's still plenty of time to fuck up Obi-Wan. The
that
character. Now, Kathleen Kennedy cannot kill Obi-Wan, but she can destroy him. So let's see what's going to happen. But I will say this: there's some issues with the show which I did not like, which really bugged the hell out of me in the second episode. Obi-Wan does not want anybody to know that he is a Jedi Knight. So what does he do? He dresses like a fucking Jedi walking through the streets.
I noticed that with the whole hood and everything.
Yeah.
No, before the lightsaber,
It's
just
a dead
the
giveaway.
garb. The damn hood, the cloak, all that. I'm like, no one but Jedi's dressed like that, my dude.
Lose the garb.
Yeah.
Second issue, and this might be nitpicking, but it does bother me. In A New Hope, when you see the I'll just call it a voicemail. that Leia
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my
you're
only hope.
my only hope.
Exactly. You're my only hope. She says, no, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. She doesn't go, years ago you saved my fucking life, which is probably what she would put in that fucking voicemail or video message.
But she was a baby.
She was a baby.
Well,
She
no,
didn't
no,
have the same memory.
No, wait,
But she
good
would
point.
remember.
Great point.
She would
But
remember.
throughout the show, Obi-Wan's going, how old are you? She's like saying like how smart and fucking just articulate she is. How
But beyond
smart
that,
she
she's
is.
also force sensitive, and she
Exactly.
has that keen sense of understanding.
Yes.
What I'm thinking is by the time we get to this series, he does some Jedi shit on her mind to help make her forget this. That's what I'm hoping, because otherwise she's way too familiar with this dude for that message to make any sense. I feel you on
Maybe
that.
I don't see that as being totally necessary, but like it's well documented how smart she is, which I really liked. Another little Easter egg which I give him credit for is the toy that Obi-Wan wanted to give
Mm-hmm.
to Anakin
Yep.
to Luke is the toy that Luke is playing with in A New Hope. I'm like, okay,
Yep.
all right, fine. But like I said, I'll give it a fair passing grade. There's some other nitpicks, but I know we're trying to keep it moving, so I'll let you guys have the floor.
Well, I'll just say thank God that toy wasn't a golden scarab.
Lord have mercy.
And what are the
Tom, what were
pros?
your thoughts on this?
That guy.
You said Mo, right?
I said Tom.
Oh, me. So I was the one who called it Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it watching this in the same time frame that I also watched Top Gun, I was taken by how many screenplays have like 2 pages of action lines where it's like Obi-Wan rides his desert tauntaun for an hour and a half until he gets off it and then walks into the cave and then makes some breakfast out of the stuff he stole from the land shark factory, and then he sits down and he looks, and then he takes his glasses and he looks, and I was like, can somebody fucking say something, please? Jesus. And it just seemed, the pace was just kind of, it was very long, and it was a similar thing, and I probably responding to the fact that Top Gun did a lot of the same sort of stuff too. It's like in recreating some of the establishment beats of the original movie, it's Tom on the bike after grabbing the jacket and in the locker, and then they have the long slow-mo sequence of them playing football with nobody saying anything, which tracks to the volleyball. But they didn't have that. That's the thing that, well, I'm not going to go on to that right now. So to me, you know, I must say my surprise face was that based on what we have been seeing from Ryan for the past 3 or 4 weeks in the text, I was expecting a Mustafar level of molten hatred.
There's still time. There's still time.
But we are fully a third. We are fully a third of the episodes in, and he does not hate it, and he's giving credit to some beautiful Easter eggs and nods that, you know, I'm glad he got them. I'm not a fan like that, but I'm glad that he's finding things in it that are enjoyable to him, because he was ready to absolutely slow buffet this show.
He was nuclear.
Bro,
he literally told me to eat shit or something like
that.
Yeah,
he had fired the missiles into the bunker of Top Gun to blow it up. That's how angry he was about this. Mo is such a stay out of this goddamn movie.
Real quick, Tom, I think the pace of it, or the scenes and all the long drawn out scenes, I think that was designed to give us the sense of isolation and loneliness that Obi-Wan was going through. I think that they also have to establish the Obi-Wan that we knew when we first met him, who was a hermit all up in the hills by himself. So I think that's a part of us seeing, you know, his just like his hopelessness and just like keeping his head down and all that. So I appreciated how they went into showing like, man, dude, this dude is really out there on his own. Like, fucking, he's not trying to run up. He ain't trying to start nothing. He's sticking to the script. He's on the run. That's what you do when you're on the run. You don't secretly use the force to steal some meat or help somebody or do nothing. You don't try to trick someone's mind. You're a regular ass dude.
Okay, was anybody, and this is a Ryan thing, I guess, because he's the most invested in this, but maybe Anthony or Mo might want to weigh in. Why were there 2 Jedis on Tatooine?
Right?
If they're scattered to the whole fucking 4 corners of the universe. Why? Young Jedi who we'd never seen before, who couldn't even hold his shit together.
It's called the Outer Rim. You want to be beyond the reach of the Empire. And it's been said many times that they even said it in the episodes, like, we're on the Outer Rim. You ain't got no power over us, and they cut off her hand. The Tatooine, in the sense of the Empire, is going to be on the outer reaches and less likely for there to be a garrison or Darth Vader to show up.
But since it is the Outer Rim, there's got to be other planets on the Outer Rim, is my point. It's like, there was Dantooine. No, I get it. I'm just saying, if you're scattered, right? And to me, it was, we've got to establish that there are Jedi here so that Sister Girl could feel that Kenobi was there. That was basically the only reason. And to me,
it was a tool. It's a plot point, yes.
But since, again, and this goes back to how George Lucas was literally flying by the seat of his pants. He was from Luke, not Luke. Anakin was from there. Like, that should have been the most furthest place you would want to be, just because logically
you hide there for a reason.
That's the best place to hide, because his mother died there. Why the fuck would you want to go back there?
Okay.
Why would you go back to the place your mother died? That's the perfect place to hide.
Here's the thing, though. If Vader goes back to Tatooine, I'm going to lose my shit. He hated that place. He never wanted to go there, so he cannot step foot on that planet again.
Could he not go there if it's strictly to kill Obi-Wan, the dude who he holds responsible for Padme's death?
Well, but we can't because we know that this is all a prequel, so we can't.
Exactly.
Right. We know that he would have gone to Tatooine.
He would never have left.
Nobody knows that he's ever been there. Nobody knows that.
No, it's a wrap.
Also, by the way, we all know that the Grand Inquisitor is not dead, because we all know who kills him. So the fact that they kind of leave us on a fucking cliffhanger, I'm like, dude, fucking Paleface ain't fucking dead, okay?
Oh, but that's a great point.
Everyone watching the show doesn't know that, though.
I know.
Everyone watching
but that's a great point.
See, that's the first episode. That first episode is clearly for people who are not tied in to Star Wars.
No, but the creators of this of this series are coming directly from creating the Clone Wars and also Star Wars Rebels. So that's a very important point, which goes back to another point, that there are going to be other Jedi from those series who are going to show up because of the tie-in to the Grand Inquisitor. Let me just say this very quickly about Kenobi. I thought it was fair. I thought the pacing was poor. I don't like seeing episodes about Kenobi focusing around a precocious kid who's getting all this dialogue. That was very Disney-fied. But other than that, I appreciated how they were showing Obi-Wan trying to distance himself from the Jedi for the sake of hiding. We needed to see that, how he was a hermit, why he almost basically disavowed the Force, and how that's going to tell his story going forward. So I thought it was fair. It wasn't great. The pacing was off, but it kept my attention long enough to say, okay, let's see what happens in episode 3.
Liz, as someone who doesn't like Star Wars whatsoever, what were your thoughts on this?
It's not. I think that's extreme to say that I don't like it whatsoever.
You literally said you don't like Star Wars in the group chat.
I don't
you literally
like
said
Star
this.
Wars, but I said whatsoever is a bridge too far.
What word whatsoever you take umbrage with?
Put Liz up on the screen.
I do.
Oh, you want her centered on the screen?
Yes.
You trying to talk trash?
Liz. Talk your shit,
I thought I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was appropriately. The first episode I thought was appropriate for people who somewhat watched it all, but don't know everything by heart like you all, right? So it was a nice approach of trying to embed even throwback scenes from everything. I thought the recap was appropriate. And then I even liked the part where he was sleeping, he had a nightmare. And I was like, okay, so this makes sense. You had this trauma And so we're going to bring trauma. I get Mo's point where you're like this little girl sitting up here with all the little catchphrase lines. I don't, that can be a little off-putting. I also think that she was, when you keep looking at a kid and say, how old are you? You're saying not because I don't know your age. It's because what do we do? It's not that she's articulate. It's because you're a little person, and I'm gonna need you to, listen to what you're supposed to follow directions, not, look at me eye to eye like we are equals.
Does that come from her also being a princess? Because even though she tried to check her cousin, she does have that. All she's known is the royal life.
I am literally reading the group chat. Liz, I literally do not like Star Wars. I'm actually liking the first episode. That is quoted verbatim. I'm literally looking at the group chat right now.
I say
literally is akin to whatsoever. I don't know.
I didn't say whatsoever. I said I literally do not like Star Wars. There's some movies of the Star Wars that I enjoy more than others. But I don't pretend,
you literally don't like Star Wars.
Let me explain one of the reasons why I don't like the premise of Star Wars. I find Star Wars to be sexist. The first 3 episodes is the epitome of sexism. And
wait, you talking about in the original trilogy?
Yes, the original trilogy is sexist, and there's no space for women to be to find a level of with this. I am not interested in being this princess who is this, side. No way. Didn't like it. So even as a
Leia
kid,
gets hers
I watch
at the
it.
end, though.
What? No, Leia gets hers in the end. Wait, I will say this.
And
as a kid, I remember watching it, and in the first one, because when she was in the gold bikini, she was being sexualized in the third one. In the first one, she was basically completely covered up the whole time. It was a very modest costume. And B, from jump, she was a badass because she sat there and told Vader she recognized his stench as soon as he stepped on to his face. And you knew we didn't even see what they showed us in Rogue One, where he came in and was literally wrecking shop and killing folks indiscriminately. We didn't see that of Darth Vader. We just knew he was very imposing looking. And when she said, I recognize your foul stench, and she had a smart comeback for every single thing anybody tossed her way, and princess, and she was talking shit about Han Solo, I thought she was one of the strongest representations of an independent woman, because most of the time she would have been like a damsel in distress,
think about it, Tom.
In Flash Gordon.
She called Chewie a walking carpet.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
She wasn't there to be saved. It wasn't like
exactly.
She was caught, and when they showed up, she was like, "Who are you guys?"
Aren't you a little short to be a
This is such a
stormtrooper?
typecast of women. And that's
what's a typecast of women?
A typecast is that you're going to sit here, and I'm doing it right now, right? And it's not that I can physically have strength with you. It's not that we're physical equals, but I can be, mouthy. I never liked
but the
Star
real
Wars.
Stereotype is the princess would be powerless and always in distress, and she was the antithesis of that. I'm just saying there are, and when you think about it, in the whole Star Wars, in the movies, you didn't have any fainting violets of women portrayed. You had women generals, you had women who were in leadership positions.
Yeah.
Except for Jabba the Hutt, where you had that girl from Ashoka's people who got tossed into the rancor pit. Most of the women in the original trilogy, at least, I thought. Well, there weren't very many in the original trilogy, but at least Leia, and then as you got into more female characters, you had that. The other woman
was introduced in Empire Strikes Back.
Right, exactly. So you had more leadership. It was coming in an era where, remember in the 70s, you had Jessica Lange as Dwan in King Kong. That was a trope. That was a fainting woman trope who needed to be saved. You had all these. You had Dale in Flash Gordon.
One hand.
Say what?
Is my point.
The fact that you're like, oh, and home chick over there. The fact that you can count the women, I'm just telling you, it dropped me out. When I watched it as a kid, there's nothing about it. The fact that I'm going to hold on to this one or two women throughout the whole series. And this is why you're having Star Wars now pushing forth women so that it can grab someone like me who
a lot of
we
movies
didn't feel this series spoke to us in the same way that it's you guys. Same thing for Top Gun. Both of them.
A lot of movies back then did the same thing.
And so drop in.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
we got. She's on her T-Pain thing. Go ahead, Mo.
Anthony, real quick, before we get to the danger zone, I need to know when it comes to Star Wars, where do you rank this? Oh shit. Okay, where do you rank this?
Well, I mean, in the group chat, I said I was ready to be disappointed last night. Did not miss expectation. If we only had that one episode 1, I would have probably thrown my PlayStation out the window because that shit was slow. You could not have dragged it slower across the Sahara as they did. So luckily they gave us 2. But it was lackluster. Like, we already knew he was a hermit. We already knew he was hurting. You know, we already have the experience of him in, was it Rebels? We know he's out there. We know what he's doing. He's lying low. I honestly, I'm just going to go against what Mo said, but I think the saving grace of this series so far has been the young Leia. I mean, she's talking trash.
What?
Yeah, she's talking trash. She's putting Ben in the place. She's making him. She's like, because we never saw his interaction with Leia at all, ever, and we finally get to see this. I mean, for what it is, it's somewhat like funny, like a father-daughter experience.
Hey, Anthony, I got a question for you. And you understand this as a Star Wars fan, and Tuala, you might be able to answer this as well. At the end of Revenge of the Sith, Yoda tells Obi-Wan, "More training."
That was actually very good.
That was good. That was solid.
Commune with Qui-Gon Jinn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is it during the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan, he seemingly is crying out or asking for Qui-Gon, and he doesn't respond?
So I think here's
because
what it
remember,
is.
later
he was sent in Clone Wars.
Yoda sent him to Tatooine to continue his training and meditate in the Force and connect with Qui-Gon. But remember, that was also before fucking everyone was just murdered in front of him, and he just said, "Well, fuck it, I'm out. I'm not gonna go meditate and do shit."
I think it's one of those things where if he does not hone and train and practice with the Force, he loses his connection to it.
Okay,
that's why That's why
you guys are making a lot of excuses that are unsaid.
It is Disney.
You are reaching because guess what? Because guess what? Fucking Luke wasn't that trained in the Force, and Alec Guinness was popping up every fucking 5 seconds. He was just like, "Hey, what up, man?" He was doing the Alexa drop-in. Like,
this is the future. As we've watched the series, they have also said that if you do not train and you will let, even with little Anakin, they're like, look, if you would have just let his Force sensitivity die out, he'd be fine. They said that even with Grogu. They said, you know what? He can go on and hang with the Mandalorians and let his Force sensitivity die out.
Unless you're Rey, because Rey can do anything.
Okay, you know what? So I have a serious question.
Go ahead.
When did Luke stop being a brunette?
Oh, he's got to get older. All the sons got to bleach his hair.
Just get older.
His hair was Owen ass dark as shit.
That was
running around.
He's 10 years old. He's 10.
No, Tom. I did appreciate how they explained the backstory of why Owen really had no love for the Jedi and wanted to have no business the Jedi.
And I'm glad they used the same actor. I give them props for that. I love the continuity of that. That was cool. His hair was dark as fuck.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
And Mark Hamill was blonde as hell.
Okay, since we're talking shit, I want to talk some more shit.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not gonna give this.
Let the hate flow through you.
It's flowing through me. Okay, so we see the interaction with Obi-Wan and Leia. So Leia knows who Obi-Wan is. So there's some type of like connection there. When Obi-Wan dies in A New Hope, she doesn't give a fuck.
She doesn't see him die.
She knows she died. She knows he died though.
But she also doesn't know he's there. She does not know he's there. They never see each other in A New Hope.
She never even acknowledges it. Okay, but that's my point.
No. But that's a fair point though, Ryan. It's like all she saw was Chewie, Han, and Luke.
Okay,
and even when they're running by, they're running under laser fire, and Luke is the one who sees Obi-Wan get struck down, and he goes ham, and then they all run onto the ship.
But she knows that he died though, because she's trying to console Luke, saying when Luke's saying, "I can't believe he's gone."
Guys,
he didn't say, "I can't believe Obi-Wan Kenobi is gone."
Guys, it's also
she knows what he's talking about.
Guys, it is also fair to point out that they weren't siblings when the first movie came out. George Lucas was inventing all this bullshit after the fact.
Tom's right on that one. Tom is right.
Point. Look back to Anthony's point. They've had an interaction at this point, so she knows Ben Kenobi at this point.
This is the problem when you're
like
writing
I'm saying,
stuff
and Mo, you might have dropped out when I said it. I think that he forced
Liz, thank you.
All of this is revisionist bullshit, dude. By the second movie, he decided they had to be siblings so he could create the Han Solo relationship and did it. It was.
I thought it was the third movie.
My point is, fuck Disney.
Well,
okay?
there's.
Okay,
this isn't a Disney thing. George Lucas is a trash fire of lack of canon continuity.
That way, because like we already know that Leia has a connection with Obi-Wan. I got 2 more points, and I have to get through these.
Here's Mustafar. We are on the planet of Mustafar right now, and he has the high ground.
Empire Strikes Back when Obi-Wan goes, "That boy is our last hope." No, there's another. Motherfucker, why would you say that? You know how smart Leia is. You know she's connected to the Force. Fuck you, Disney. Kiss me in my ass.
It was
How does he know that though, Ryan?
It was never
How does he
Leia.
know that?
It wasn't Leia.
No.
It wasn't Leia.
And no, not only that though, Ryan. All he was like, it was questioning why she was like so intuitive. He at no point did he say, little girl, I think you've got the Force. He never said that.
He knows who Leia is.
But from the beginning, it was the son. To Liz's point on some sexy shit, they never get. He didn't even give a damn about saving Leia. He was like, "Why would I go off the planet?"
She's just as important. You literally
no, just as important to me. No, just as important to me.
No,
because that's his sister.
Y'all are trying to build.
Next point.
Y'all are trying to build bricks out of mercury.
Here's the problem.
You're trying to hold shit in your hands and just slip it through because it's all bullshit.
Yeah,
no,
because
George
of Disney.
Lucas did not
because of Disney, because of George Lucas.
No, George Lucas did not believe that this movie was going to be what he thought it was going to be a good idea. He didn't think it was
don't write that story afterwards then.
Look, I'm just saying, when he made the first movie, it was a wing and a prayer.
Right.
And you had somebody who believed in him.
No, you're right.
Lucille Ball, who helped this movie get off the ground. And so it became
that's a fact.
Way more than what he thought it was. So
he had to backfill.
All over the
Yes, he did backfill, but Disney should have adjusted the story to that. My last point, and I'll shut the fuck up, I promise. Probably not, but you understand.
Yeah, we know that's a lie.
Okay, so this is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, whatever. So, okay. So we do know that since Leia and Luke are 10 years old, we do know that in 9 years, Obi-Wan Kenobi is gonna start looking like Sir Alec Guinness. That something must be really, really bad.
A hard life.
Oh, he had no sunblock.
Doesn't Tatooine have 3 sons though, or 2 sons?
All 3 sons.
No,
UV rays like a motherfucker. Yeah,
no, it was that camel's back. That's a lot of sun, Ryan.
That's a lot of sun.
That's a lot.
And plus that sand shark, that sand shark meat has like all those bad high. Yeah, it's got all that. The really bad cholesterol. It's
He got
it's
no
fucking you up.
sunscreen and not a lot of Manila.
Oh my God! All right, look.
Yeah, Tatooine salmonella.
Before we spend a whole hour on this, I have been waiting patiently. I am actually going to go on Paramount Plus and watch the original Top Gun tonight, so I can enjoy the second one, because I don't remember the first Top Gun like that. I was not.
Yeah, it's
that
on
big of a
Netflix
fan.
too. You don't have to be on Paramount Plus.
Look, I got Paramount Plus. I finally got it. Mo, and you Mo, you have literally been. I see you are almost in the danger zone. You are in the cockpit.
Go ahead, play Danger Zone. You have it on your keypad. There. I know you do.
And he has it keyed up.
Like, all right, K-Logs. K-Logs over here.
Mo, you said that this was literally the best film of this year, bar none.
No exaggeration.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of exaggeration, but okay.
No. Practical effects, not CGI. The stunts in this movie are the best I have ever seen when it comes to aerial combat in any movie. Now, we can quibble about plot points and MacGuffins and things of the story, which are maybe unbelievable or hokey. But as far as the action that was on the scene, if you are a Top Gun fan, you will love this sequel. 99 Rotten Tomatoes audience rating.
Mm-hmm. I will say that the air stuff was cool. And it was a lot better than the first one. In terms of like the stuff, like, you know, in the first one they had the inverted thing where he was like over the guy and he's like looking down and it looks hella fake and shit. Those effects did not look fake, but at the same time, to me, CGI, you could have made perfectly realistic looking planes flying stuff with CGI. And so it's great that they were practical or that they were real planes and stuff. That was all fine. I just, the third act fell apart to me, and I'll say this: it's similar to the reason why I did not really respond to Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't like or need sequels that try to trace the beats of the original movie. Like, the difference between Captain America: The First Avenger and Winter Soldier is that they were totally different movies. I didn't need to see a training sequence again. I didn't need to see people playing football on a beach where both teams were doing offense and defense simultaneously. I don't even know how you play football like that. But they had to have the volleyball scene in, and they had girls. So they're going to have girls and guys, guys with their shirts off, girls not, playing in the sand for 5 minutes, because that was in the first one.
On the beach, there was water, which made it mud. It's not the same.
Yeah. So, and you had even the closing sequence where you had Jennifer Connelly. And here's the other thing. I didn't immediately understand why I felt like I was in the dark with Jennifer Connelly's character, because they introduce her on screen as though we're supposed to know who she is. And I was like, was she even in the first movie? And she wasn't. She was
inspired.
Huh?
More than 30 years have transpired. He has fucked other women.
No. I get it. But she was a passing mention in the first movie. And I'm sorry, Jennifer Connelly was 15 when the first movie took place, right? So she doesn't look like she's 51, which is what you would expect her. You'd expect her to be 54, basically, if it wasn't pedophilia. But she does not. She looks so unlike 54. It was distracting. I was like, where's Michelle Pfeiffer or somebody who looks more age appropriate to the age she's supposed to be?
Oh no, the close up with the wrinkles.
Yeah.
No, but there were a lot of fuzzy, distant shots where she did not look that damn old.
Yeah.
She's a 54.
Get him straight.
She's Jennifer a 54.
I love her, but she showed her age. She really
Jennifer Aniston is how old? She's in her 50s. And
Hello.
so come on, stop it, Tom. She doesn't have to look like an old wrinkly.
No, I didn't say she needed to look like an old wrinkled person because clearly Tom Cruise's surgeon is Doctor Strange. But
he looked old too.
No, he didn't look that damn
he
old.
old.
You could see. You could. This is the first movie I could see where I could see where the eye surgery actually took place. He had that little extra hooding over the outer edges, but. The whole thing with Miles Teller's ridiculous mustache because it had to look exactly like Anthony Edwards' mustache. The whole thing where she shows up at the end in the vintage Porsche, which was kind of a Kelly McGinnis thing. I mean, it was just I just did. And then the third act completely the plausible deniability, the suspension of disbelief. The third act is a nightmare of suspension of disbelief.
Point, and
I want to know from you, Mo, to Tom's point of it following beats of Miles Teller with the mustache and them trying to relive all the glory. Did this film do a good job of capturing or paying homage to the original film with Easter eggs and things that fans of the original film will go, oh shit, that was dope. That's the thing.
And part of the son, who's named Rooster as opposed to Goose in this, he is idolizing and emulating his father, from his call sign to his mustache to playing the piano. Spoiler, just like his dad, just like in the first movie.
Balls of Fire, yeah.
Yes, those are things for a Top Gun fan, which are essential. And I can tell that it's not giving anything away. The second movie starts exactly like the first movie, from the musical motif to the script on the screen of Top Gun, and going right into this.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm gonna tell you that watching it in Dolby and their seats start shaking in the beginning, I was like, oh, I am here.
But why didn't they, Mo? Why don't you think they did the heavy music cues in the dynamic sequences like they did in the first movie?
Because I don't think that the music, they did a Lady Gaga song, but outside of that, that resonated. We don't do music soundtracks in action movies today like we did in the 1980s.
Oh yeah,
true.
No, we
That's
don't.
True.
No, we don't.
It was empty to me when they were doing, when he's flying, and this was another thing I think that kind of distracted me. And I'm sorry because I know you guys are in love with the movie, so you're gonna have your time. They did this run. They did the run of the final climactic thing 3 times. 3 separate times in the movie. They did training where everybody fails. They did, we're doing spoilers, right?
Yeah,
of course.
We don't care? Okay. So then they do...
Anthony.
I know, right?
It's not going to ruin it.
Okay, so yeah, just take your headphones out. So then they do the second run where Tom Cruise has to avoid from being fired, and he's the only pilot who can do the impossible Luke Skywalker shot. And then they have to do the final thing for real, so that by the time you get to the point, you've seen them fail, you've seen that it can be done, you know that there's no way it's going to fail by the time they get there. And unlike Goose, huh?
You just thinking
that from the moment you sat down in the theater. That's not the point.
No, but the point is that you didn't even have. You had a chance to kill somebody the way Goose was killed. There were no stakes. You introduced literally 6 new characters plus Rooster. Huh?
Remember the man who passed out on
Right, no, he passed out, but then he survived. He didn't even crash his plane. It was the girl whose plane crashed.
My point. There
why
were
you want somebody to die?
Right.
It's not that I wanted somebody to die, but in the first movie,
he wants drama.
Goose dying was a major stake. It impacted what's his name's character, and then Rooster wasn't even alive when Goose wasn't she pregnant with Rooster?
Yeah,
he was alive. He was alive.
He was
alive.
Yeah, he was alive. And
wait, who was she pregnant with then?
Rooster's brother. Who gives a fuck?
I just didn't know. I wasn't clear. But he was only 3 or 4 years old. They were trying to turn this into it's 36 years later, right?
Trying to turn it into, you're saying that the second movie followed all the same beats of the first movie, and then you complain like, hey, no one died in the second movie. Well, what?
No, okay. No, because there's a difference. There's a difference between creating an opportunity for real stakes and then doing what you did in the third act where I thought Tom Cruise died. And I thought that was impressive. I thought that was a bold fucking choice. And I would have given them all the credit in the world. And then he doesn't die. And then Rooster. I thought Rooster died. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, that's dark. Why the hell would you do that? And then they find each other. And then they go hijack a plane in this unnamed country. And they're able to fly out despite the fact that there's no goddamn runway. And then they're able to...
No. Is a no-name country, right? Because they got to make sure this can.
No, I get it. It can play everywhere. I know, and that's why they had full-on fucking TIE fighter stormtrooper masks, so you couldn't see the race. You couldn't see anything. It could have been China. It could have been Tajikistan. It could have been Russia. You have no idea because it's they don't even say anything. They don't say anything to them, and the people don't say anything in Russian or any other language. I get it. Fine. Masterstroke. Whatever. Nobody cared who the villains were in the first movie. But you have Ed Harris, who you kind of establish in the very first scene, not first scene, in the very first sequence, in the first act. You kind of think that Ed Harris is like the villain, and then he never comes back. And then John Hamm is kind of like a surrogate Ed Harris villain because he hates Maverick. And you got the taciturn black dude who kind of, admires Maverick, and then you have the big black dude who's a total Maverick stan, and you have the rest, everybody in the Navy except John Hamm's ass, and apparently Ed Harris can't stand him. And it's just
first of all, no, I disagree with Tom. I a lot, because the real point of this really is the fact that you don't want anybody to die, or at least the two characters, because they are trying to build a relationship together again. And so that's the subplot between all of this. And the fact that one would die versus the other, it's about them saving each other's lives, that I thought was a really touching point. I also, though,
he should have been dead.
That's a shame. I did love the fact that it does get you into the feeling of the 80s. However, there's some things I was like, okay, I'm being too nitpicky. Like, it's 2022. We don't ride with helmets on our head.
That was distracting, but he's Tom Cruise and he's the movie star, so his glasses are enough. His glasses had a force field on them, so it could to save him from catastrophic head injury.
Right, but otherwise, I thought it had the nice little. I appreciated all of it. I thought that eventually I was hoping that he'd get with the girl, because now he can kind of go off into the sunset. What I don't want is a third movie or a series, because I know Tom Cruise has a history of continuing the journey onward and onward until we still can't take it, and then we get another one, like Mission Impossible.
Oh, Mission Impossible is a bad example. Mission Impossible is better than it ever has been.
And it prints money.
Very quickly. This Top Gun movie was not about bringing in a new generation of Top Gun fans. It wasn't like they brought in these new pilots and said, hey, they're going to continue the legacy. No, this was still Maverick's story. Right. To a closure, all the things that his shortcomings in the first movie, they addressed in a myriad of ways in this movie. That's why they named it Top Gun Maverick, not Top Gun the next generation or the next class. So that
would have been stupid as shit. Right. Top Gun, the next class.
Top Gun,
earn your wings.
Top Gunners.
They said no. It's still about Maverick and even Iceman, without giving it away, and that storyline, and they closed it with a bow. Mm-hmm. Bravo.
Hey, did they do anything like kind of like shout out or maybe a anytime thing with Val Kilmer?
Yes.
No, that's Iceman. Iceman, he was in it.
No, I'm talking in this. He's the one that died?
I love how they treated him.
I don't remember.
It was well done. It was so well done.
Well, it incorporated his real life illness, which I was not aware of. I knew that he had gained a lot of weight at one point, and then he had lost this weight. And I saw him in the opening credits, and I said, oh, well, this will be interesting. And they established that his career took a different vector than Maverick's career. He actually ascended through the ranks and was a 2-star admiral or something, whereas either Maverick was busted a couple of times or whatever for behavior, blah, blah, blah.
exhausted, and he didn't want to be advanced.
Yeah, he didn't want to. He Captain Kirk'd the thing,
Yeah.
basically. He
Okay.
wanted to stay in a plane and da-da-da-da-da. One thing I did find difficult to buy is that by the time we see Iceman, his wife says, nobody knows how bad it is. He can't even talk now. And I'm like, if you're
wow.
that high in the ranks, somebody fucking knows that you're on your last legs. It's just not possible that
Damn.
huh? What?
You're nitpicking.
Look,
I am not nitpicking.
I'm telling you to.
He was the core antagonistic
All y'all
relationship
out
in the
there,
first movie. That was his
listen
whole
to
role,
Tom.
to be the opposite to Maverick. Their battle was the central conceit of the source of conflict in the first movie. It wasn't him against the Russians. It was him against Iceman trying to prove himself. And so you bring Iceman back, and the only compliment you have is you introduce these 7 generic recruits, the one douchebag who's like Iceman's second, basically.
Hangman.
Wait, Iceman
Hangman.
didn't have a son in this?
Who?
Or daughter?
No,
Iceman
no.
didn't have a son?
Well, not
I'm
that we see.
sure they do because there's kids running outside. But honestly, you look, don't listen to Tom. You'll
Thanks.
love
Jay
the movie.
Ellis was wasted.
You'll love the movie.
Tell me a memorable line from the Latino dude.
It's a 1980s reboot movie.
Okay.
It has all the songs.
I like
all the
1980.
feel
It doesn't
good.
have the songs though. The songs are not.
Okay,
you
look,
got a Lady Gaga
is
song in
it-
the closing credits, and
Okay,
it's not
no,
as
no.
good as You Take My
it
Breath
dope
Away.
like
Has all
is
the
it dope
feel
like
good.
Cobra Kai? That's my question. Is it
Yes.
dope like Cobra Kai?
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, because Cobra Kai doesn't take itself seriously, and Maverick does, and it's stuck in an '80s sensibility that's updated with better special effects, and tries to do the same movie from the '80s,
Tom's in the
and just
minority.
take away the cool soundtrack.
Tom is the 1%.
I understand. That's fine. I get it.
You're the one.
I get it. I get it. Sometimes you have to be right and alone.
And I'm right about Obi-Wan. So.
Sure.
I'm not in love
I'm not
with
arguing
the
with
movie,
you about
Tom.
that.
I'm not in love with the movie like Mo is, but I do believe that it's worth the watch.
Dude,
Okay,
Mo
Worth
wants-
the Watch is not best
it's a
movie I've
good
ever
movie.
seen.
Mo
Okay, I
wants to
didn't
have
say
this
best
movie's
movie.
baby.
Third
Yeah.
act
Let's be honest.
falls completely apart.
Oh, I disagree.
Third
looking
act
forward to seeing this
falls
in,
apart.
I'm looking forward to seeing this in Dolby. Am I the only one on the panel? Because a lot of folks was wondering what our thoughts were on Love, Death, and Robots. Am I the only one who watched that?
I watched
This
it.
is super intense this season.
I texted you.
Isn't it though?
This
Isn't it,
is
though? It's all
super
dark
intense.
It's all dark and like don't watch it at night.
It
and-
is.
It is.
Like you see, like from the first season where you had the episode of the refrigerator or the freezer universe or whatever that was
Yes.
all kind of light and puffy. This shit is dark as hell. Like, I mean, oof.
People are getting fucked up in this season.
I mean, and the whole African one with the like the spider lady thing.
Yeah. Look, that
This
was
shit is
horrible.
dark.
The damn,
The
the
rats.
damn, the Spawn one. The
Yeah.
Spawn one where you had homegirl who was all that whole thing in the end with her brain. I was like, I
Yes.
can't even watch this right now. My
Or
head
the
is
rats,
fucked up.
the rats with the little.
The rats was hilarious. The rats
the
had
little
me
armor?
in literal tears.
I was like,
Wallace
oh my
will watch it
god.
at night. I didn't, thank God.
Yeah, no, it's oof.
Yeah.
Can we
Oof.
please talk about something important?
Oh shit.
Okay,
He's
right.
talking about
Okay.
blood and
Blood
honey.
and
Of course,
Look,
you knew it was coming.
Ryan, yes, we can talk about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. People need to understand when Disney, or not when Disney lost the rights to, but when the
Oh
rights
my
to Winnie the
God.
Pooh went public, everyone and their mom said, I want to do something with Winnie the Pooh. You had all types of, you had Christopher Robin, you had a bunch of different stories. This story right here, though, I promise you, is the most important story you will ever see in the history of Winnie the Pooh. Blood and Honey? Blood and Honey? What are we doing here?
They're making like a my part of my childhood into a horror movie. I'm all here for it. I know it's gonna be ridiculously bad. I don't care. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. And what I need from this movie is for when Winnie the Pooh's killing someone to go, oh bother.
A little piglet though. What would Eeyore be like in this whole thing? Like
Doesn't
Eeyore.
matter.
Now I've got to clean up the blood.
Whoa. Somebody get
And then Tigger's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, there's so much blood! I can't believe all the blood!"
Oh, Tigger had better be a meth head.
Oh yeah, Tigger's a meth head.
Tigger
Quit-
better be a meth head.
Tigger is totally tweaking.
Yeah,
I
Now,
just
see,
don't.
think the brilliance of this film is when you look at how easily you can make a multi-million-dollar, super humongous horror film off of like $100,000 and an iPhone. With some of the success we've seen from like Blumhouse with what's built them as the premier distributor for horror films, and the fact that their films are shot at really low budgets with crazy jump scares, lots of gore, and they build these cult followings. This to me has cult following written all over it. This is the future of Candyman. This is Freddy. This is everything you want. Winnie the Pooh.
This is Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, man,
It's
I'm
called
there
Blood
for
and Honey,
this.
man.
I am there for this, and I don't like horror, but I really want to see. I want to see maybe Piglet dissecting someone. I need to see, Winnie the Pooh, instead of sticking his hand in a jar of honey, sticking it in someone's intestines and kind of mouthing some blood. I need this to be out of control.
Who said yes to this? Who?
Yeah,
who
I don't.
I think the Winnie the Pooh said yes to this. That's what I want to know.
I need this movie in my life.
You have been obsessing over this ever since you first saw it.
Yeah,
Has anybody seen a motion trailer? All of the trailers that I've seen on YouTube are all just animated stills. I don't know if there is a real trailer.
No,
From
not
what I
yet.
saw,
Not
Oh,
yet.
okay.
yet.
All right.
From what I read is the hype around this film due to Ryan over here is
Ryan alone.
they are pushing out post right now is what I read. Is they're doing
God.
overtime to get post done and get this film out for Ryan.
Oh God, I am there day one.
I cannot take it.
Inject this movie into my veins.
Oh, clearly. This is the first film where Ryan has absolutely no fear of banana in the tailpipe.
Dude, I know it's gonna be fucking awful. I don't care.
It's gonna be bad.
Oh,
The
yeah,
masks,
exactly.
the masks look really horrible. I
They
have
do.
to say.
Yeah.
They absolutely do.
It's
Winnie
so
the Pooh
bad.
looks so bad.
Yeah, they look
It don't
really,
matter.
really bad.
It don't
Hello,
matter.
Tazzy Devil. Thank you for waving.
Hey, Tazzy. Hey, Marks.
These are Ryan's. These are
Yeah.
Ryan's friend.
Yeah.
So you had to post a comment about Ryan's obsession with Blood and Honey, Tazzy and Marks. It is
God.
it's a lot. It's
And
an
this is
awful
all because
lot.
Christopher Robin abandoned them. Which
Yeah.
is
Oh yeah, it's
he just went to
supposedly
school.
supposedly it's a Japanese urban legend where when you it's like the dark side of Toy Story. When you abandon your toys, they come back to get your ass.
Like Chucky.
Oh shit! This is getting better by the minute. Better by
or
the minute.
worse.
I mean, they can be used the same.
Yeah.
Beyond Blood and Honey, which I know we're all eagerly awaiting. Liz, what are you watching?
Stranger Things. I'm gonna be watching tonight.
Your name ain't Liz. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
I don't.
Damn.
I don't watch. I'm sticking to Apple Plus. Apple.
Of course.
Wait,
But
what's on Apple TV?
There is a new show that is fantastic. John Favreau has done a prehistoric show, and it is a 5-part series. It ends today, and it is talking about the dinosaur era. It looks so real. It looks so fantastic. So good.
So like the dinosaur movie that was on the Disney dinosaur movie where it was like set in real environments but just dealt with dinosaurs.
Yes.
It's like
it's
that.
so good. It's so good. Like I was like, I believe this. There's a few parts where I was like, okay, the CGI is really showing, but overall, it's so good.
Okay. It's called what again?
It's the prehistoric. It's called prehistoric.
Okay, something prehistoric. All right, it's not Jurassic Park.
No.
Anthony, what are you checking out, brother?
I got a 10:15 IMAX screening of Top Gun tomorrow. So
Woo!
yeah, thank you. That danger zone.
I hate you right now, Mo. I fucking hate
Say
you
the highway,
so
that
much.
fucking danger zone tomorrow at 10:15 in the morning for IMAX. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I booked that ticket for IMAX yesterday, and that shit was full.
Nice.
Ours was not.
a full IMAX at 10:15 in the morning.
That's right. You're gonna love it.
Wow.
So I'm fucking going there, and I'm gonna fucking take that danger zone.
Okay, first of all, I have to say, Tazzy is telling on you, Ryan.
Well, he follows me on Twitch, so he knows all my secrets.
He knows all your secrets.
He knows it all.
That's
right. Speaking of Ryan, what are you watching, brother?
I'm looking forward to watching Stranger Things.
Okay.
It's been a while since the last season, so I'm like hoping that's going to be good.
And this is part one, correct? This is part one of a 2-part season.
Season, yes.
Yeah. So the seasons were cut in half, like Captain Carter. So
yeah. You bastard.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting about this season that I thought was really, really dope is that every single episode is damn near movie length. I think one of the shortest
like
episodes
hour
is like
long.
an hour 20 minutes. They go from like an hour 20, hour 30. The season finale is like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. This is gonna be a good one.
So are they in high school now?
Yes.
A lot of times passed.
I don't know. I don't watch the show. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, they are. I've started it. They're in high school, and they've actually 11, or Jane is what they're calling her now. They've moved to a different state. So the guys, the folks who stayed in Hawkins, the oldest brother who was dating the impossibly skinny girl, they're about to graduate high school. The 4 dweebs are all about to this is their freshman year in high school, and then Jane 11 and the dude who still has the inexplicable bowl cut, they moved away, and they are both in high school now. So she's separated from the rest of the crew, including her boyfriend, and it's dark. The opening is dark. You may have seen that they put a title card on at the beginning of the first episode in light of the Uvalde tragedy.
Jesus.
Yeah, you learn some things about 11 in the very first episode that are very surprising, and then you also learn that Matthew Modine has very poor motor skills in terms of writing right out the box. But it does not suffer from the underwriting of dialogue like the other things I'm watching. This one puts you out full tilt. It starts with its foot on the pedal. It's a lot. It's an awful lot.
Well, besides Stranger Things, what are you watching, Tom?
Well, I'm waiting. I can't wait for Umbrella Academy. That new trailer has me on fire. I am astounded, and I am impressed, and I like the new cast that's joining them, the Sparrows. I really like all of that, and so I can't wait for that. And honestly, between Obi-Wan and Stranger Things, and because I haven't finished Love, Death, and Robots, and they also have announced that they're going to be ramping up production for another season of Black Mirror. So all of these sort of nerdy things kind of came at me all at once this week.
Nice. Mo, beyond the danger zone, what are you checking out?
Actually, I have a confession to make. Until this week, I had never watched an episode of Stranger Things. Yes, I'm getting into Elle and everything that's going on there, and I'm enjoying it. So that's all I can say. And Tom didn't ruin season 4 for me, so I think I'll probably be to season 4 by the end of Memorial Day weekend if things progress.
Oh, you're binge. So are you in season 2 already?
I'm at the end of season 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, season 1 is pretty. Oh, you haven't seen the end of season 1 yet.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
You're farther along than I am, Mo, because I have literally not watched this.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
I have, but my daughter, she's literally in the other room. She has her shirt on. She's got a couch full of snacks next to her. It has been all day. She has gone to the Stranger Things Day Festival. She went to the live Stranger Things show in LA, the live drive.
Yeah. The drive-through event.
Thing. She has a Funko Pop collection. She's got the damn
first episode of
the Demogorgon flower child monster on the wall. Look, she's into this like nobody's business.
No, if you're not hooked by the first episode, then you won't like it.
I can't see how you can't be, though. It's amazing.
Okay.
And the fourth season takes place in the same semester that I actually graduated from high school.
Didn't this next season, wasn't this season $100 or $200 million? Which one?
Oh, I don't know. I could believe it.
I heard it was super expensive. I heard it was like
I heard it was that makes sense. I'll just tell you right now. I thought I would be disconcerted because the characters have aged. I mean, the actors have aged so much. But the little short dude with the teeth, he's pretty much exactly the same.
Did he get it?
He did not get new teeth. They've kept the teeth the same.
He's still fucking up the teeth.
Yeah, and he's wealthy enough to get it fixed. He ain't gonna fix it till after Stranger Things is done because they got to keep that continuity. Brother man Caleb, he's got a high top fade in high school.
Nice.
So it's the tall dude from Afterlife is freakishly tall. He does not look the same, and you can definitely see the passage of time for somebody like you, Mo, who's actually watching for the very first time in the same week you are going to catch up to the current episode. It's going to be like some real bizarre shit for you because you could be like, "Holy shit, he grew 2 feet!" But it's
30 million an episode.
I think this is the most consistent thing that Netflix has done. There hasn't been a surprise drop in quality season to season. It's still appointment television to me.
I don't know, because right now the thing that I'm watching on Netflix, rewatching, reloving every single second of it, fucking Daredevil is the living truth.
Okay.
But that's not really I mean, okay,
it wasn't the time, but I would give you Daredevil. But let's not forget about the immortal Iron Fist, protect the sun, lawn, sworn enemy of the hand.
So it's time to go. It's time to go.
Hold on, very quickly.
Yes.
Pacific Rim Black on Netflix is pretty damn.
Oh yeah, that's how they should have done
yeah.
Pacific Rim. You know, it's interesting, Mo. You bring it up, and it's right on target. So many of today's properties that are high concept sci-fi really should just be done as CGI animation because you could contain the costs. Nobody really gives a fuck what the people look like. Everybody just wants the giant fucking kaiju anyway, and they're all CGI. So you might as well just do the dumbed down CGI version and get it out of the way and give us more stories. Because Pacific Rim really tries to, I
said the first season was really dope. I like.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and it's like you can do so much more and expand it. Like I haven't been an especial fan of the Blade Runner Black Lotus thing, but
that was whack.
It's the idea that you could take us into these universes instead of just having to wait 30 years to give us a sequel to 2049, which was unsatisfying. The fact that you could, delve into these universes more aggressively with animation, I don't see why more properties aren't going that route.
I think DC should definitely go that route.
DC needs to go all animation right now.
Animation. Like for real, everything. They're suffering over there. Dr. Liz.
What's up?
I'm actually gonna flip the script.
Oh.
And I would like for you to set it off.
I actually have something today.
Oh, damn it. The gods are shining on us. So with that, Dr. Liz, take us out, why don't you?
Into the unknown. That's where we must go. Shout out to Willow.
Nice. McBain.
I'm nasty.
Cunningham.
Where is my Theraflu suit?
You should have done flight suit. I thought you were going to do flight suit.
No, fuck you and your Top Gun and your doots. Fuck all of y'all with your Top Gun fandom. Oh, God damn it.
Anthony from 2 Cubicles Down.
Good news, everybody.
And Mo.
You know what's coming.
Oh, of course. Okay. I will just say that Mo right now, that is the least Q-ish thing I have ever seen on recorded video. He is dancing like a goddamn 7-year-old schoolgirl to fucking Danger Zone, and it is not what I want to see from my 1911 brother. It just is not.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Excelsior!
Oh Jesus!